A very good morning and welcome to the Garden City of Bengaluru. We are live from Padukone Dravid Center for Sports Excellence Phase 2 for the Indian Women's League 2 clash between Casa Barwani Soccer Club and Indian Arrows Women Juniors on this Wednesday morning. Match number 7 of the Group B, the fourth match day and the final match day for Indian Arrows Women Juniors as they are about to learn their fate in the group stage of this tournament. 3 games gone by for them. One final attempt to make things right and qualify for the final round, perhaps, if they put out a good performance today. Standing in the way, a Casa Barwani Soccer Club, a rocky start to the tournament, a couple of defeats. It is time for them to get a move on because anything less than a victory today will mean the end of the road for them with the game remaining. How will things pan out? We will find out very shortly as the players make their way to the middle of the pitch. The schedule has been relentless. Games coming every alternative day. Indian Arrows, women juniors, especially in particular, haven't enjoyed an off day. They are playing on all the first 4 match days of the group. Casa Barwani have had a rest day. They must have used it well because there is no other way that they could survive in this tournament if they do not raise their level. Once again, a warm welcome to Padukone Dravid Center for Sports Excellence Phase 2, Bengaluru. Casa Barwani Soccer Club taking on Indian Arrows Women Juniors in this absolutely must win clash for both sides as we are about to end the group stage proceedings. Changes rung there by both the sides, pretty expected when the results don't go the coach's way. They tend to make changes to the lineup. Of course, the tactical tweaks will also be there, but the personnel who take the center stage will also go a major shift. Casa Barwani, a huge test of character for them. And the Indian Arrows Women Juniors, they have been playing well, but the results haven't always gone their way in the previous game, especially. But this side, they have to come back today, put out a strong performance. Look at the lovely smiles on all their faces. They are confident. It's important that they enjoy their football first before anything else, before making a statement on the pitch. Abhinav, the match referee, Vishal Mahendrabhai Waja, and Kshetra Mayum Kishan Singh will assist him from the sidelines. Bosco Kas will be the fourth official taking care of all the substitutes and times. Ravi Shankar Jayaraman, the ever present match commissioner, and myself, Pranav Venkatesh, bringing all the action live to you. Krishna Bhati, the skipper of Casa Barwani, and Shweta Rani, the captain of Indian Arrows Women Junior. Have a pleasant talk there before the game. I think that would be where the pleasantries end because once the game starts, they will be ready to go for war for their side, aren't they? Here is the lineup of Deepak Chauhan. A couple of changes there. Uma Kevat keeps a place in goal. Uma Ivnati. Vidya Medha comes into the side. Arshi Gole is there in defense. Sania Yadav has shrugged off an injury concern to start. In the midfield, Rachna Singh comes into the lineup to join Krishna Bhati, the skipper. Anupama Chauhan keeps a place. The attack will all revolve around Tanya Gole, the number 10, and the influential forward Samiksha Ahirekar and Rajwanti will assist her. Anu Gupta and Bindya Arjun losing their place in this important clash today for Deepak Chauhan's side. Well, 3 changes from Joachim Burnt Alexanderson. More importantly, a change in goal there as Kushi drops to the bench to make room for Muni, who makes a first appearance. The defense is ever solid. Viksit Bharat, Tamanna, and Elizabeth Lakra will keep their shape at the back. Tanya Devi joins the lineup alongside Rupashri Munda in attack. And now, Indian Arrows Women Juniors get us underway. Attacking from right to left of your screen in all blue, the sky blue of the Indian Blue Tigers, our Indian Arrows Women Juniors, and attacking from left to right of your screen in pink and white are the women from Madhya Pradesh, Casa Barwani Soccer Club. That is a lovely idea to start the play already from the Arrows. A give and go down the left hand side. You could see Wixit Bara joining the attack from the word go. Here is Shweta Rani under pressure but manages to get the cross in. Half-hearted effort from Julan. Will go out for a goal kick. Well, early warning sign. This might probably be how the game pans out. Indian Arrows doing most of the attacking. Casa Barwani have to be solid at the back because they have let out so many goals in the previous two encounters. And they have let out some early goals as well. So it is a matter of concern for them. They should keep things tight in the opening 15 minutes, opening 20. If the game is 0-0, then they can think about going forward. The first priority should always be defense for them. Rupashri coming back into her own half. Will resume with a safe throw in. Trying to progress with some short passes down the middle. But there is a hint of a mistake from Tamanna as he hits a pass shortly. Muni, the new goalkeeper in goal for them, does well to come out. Rachna Singh slotting on that right side of defense. Well, Joachim Bernd Alexanderson is not afraid to experiment. A bold 3 at the back approach from him. It has worked in the previous couple of games. It is always refreshing to see, isn't it? Tactical flexibility. 3 centre backs, a couple of wing backs, flanking the centre midfielders in the middle of the park. And then you have 3 solid attackers who are full of pace and guile. Rupashri Munda acting as the wing back in this system on the left hand side, taking no risks there, putting the ball out of play. Casa Barwani shape is more of a conventional one. 4 at the back, 4 in the middle, and a couple of strikers trying to attack. Here is the starlet, Tanya Gole. She is to have a good game if they have any chances of getting a result here. Because they are yet to score a goal, let me remind you, in 2 games. In that aspect, Indian Arrows have been a bit of goal shy as well. Only 3 goals in 3 games. They will look to improve their output certainly. There goes the cross into the middle. The flag does stay down, but Uma Kewat comes out to make the claim. Well, are the cracks reappearing for Casa Barwani? Once again, there was no defender in sight as a couple of forwards in blue rushed onto that. Good hold up play. Does well to bring the ball out of sky, but the follow through pass was hit badly, and Abhishta Basnet releasing Divyani. Anushka gets the cross in. A lot of height on that, but Uma makes sure that she gobbles it down easily. Well, this is some attacking start from the Arrows. Barwani are yet to come to terms with it. This is much better. Because the other day, they were giving the ball away a lot from goal kicks. This time, the goalkeeper's drop kick, finding a shirt in pink. Tanya putting some pressure to win the ball. Defense under pressure, but looks like she has breached something there. A harsh tackle, perhaps. As the referee awards a free kick to the Arrows. A warning sign, maybe? The forwards of Barwani are up to the task today. They are ready to press and harass the defense. In the previous encounter against Puduva Unicorns, it was all open road for the Unicorns as the forwards dropped quite a lot deeper into their own half. This time they are up for the task. They are pressing the opposition. Deepak Chauhan asking his players to be bold. Sometimes it is just as simple as that, putting pressure, because you cannot let the opposition get comfortable on the ball because they know the quality the arrows possess in their ranks. Trying to keep the ball in. Vixit does make her way towards the box. The cross gets deflected. Good block by the centre back there. Red trajectory came into her path and then put it out for a corner. Well, let me remind you, have conceded a goal already. Casa Barwani from set pieces. Anushka Kumari with the in-swinger will be looking to put a pressure on the goalkeeper. But that was a poor delivery. Cleared by the first woman. She will get another chance to take a crack. But this time the cross goes wide. Well, good escape for Barwani. I think the second delivery was much better. It wasn't a million miles away. Had Uma worrying as well. If only she could have put that thought into the first corner, it could have been better. No clear sight of goal yet for these sides. Abishta couldn't retain the ball. A chance to release Tanya now. Here she is, clean through on goal. Can she take a shot? She does get it away. She finds the back of the net as well, but the offside flag goes up against her. Has been the story of the season for Tanya Gole. But that is a good finish. That will help her confidence. You can see the skipper going and encouraging her to keep doing more of the same. That was a fine run as well. Such a shame that the flag has gone up to deny Casa Barwani their first goal of the tournament. Still remains a problem timing their runs. There have been plenty of offsides in their previous game. And to no one's shock that they were caught offside once again as they scored this time. And probably Tanya was thinking of a celebration. She gets it down there by Elizabeth Lakra, who overheads the pass, but is it though? Vixit Bara gives a brilliant run and pulls the cross. Here is a chance for Julan. Miscues her effort. Well, a mistake by the defense allows Julan to run onto the ball. She took a decent first touch. I think the ball was spinning. It didn't come under her first spell with that touch. It bobbled in the air, allowing her to slice the effort instead of catch it sweetly. Couple of chances down both the ends very quickly there. Once again, look at the space. Wixit making a superb run, but the pullback will come for Abista, whose shot is blocked. I think the defense has to hold the weight. Wixit is finding a lot of joy on the flanks. Uma makes a good claim this time as well. She's having a lot of space on that left-hand side. If some of her teammates can get their heads up, they could literally find her strolling into that area. Mr. Basmet sit in the middle of the park, using her physicality to win all the duels almost. I think that was a hopeful pass. Asking too much of Tanya. Good skill there from the centre back, and luckily the heavy touch doesn't get punished. As Abista gives the ball away. Flag up against Divyani on the far side. The linesman doing his job to perfection, keeping a firm eye on the proceedings. A bit of a relaxed start from Casa Barwani, something that you'd like to see. In the previous two games, they were all over the place, haphazard, chaotic in defense, and very restless on the ball. this morning. It looks like they've fixed their issues, but let me not try to curse them. It's only been 10 minutes. It will be very good for them if they could manage doing it, and they've managed to win a corner. Just get the balls in, ask questions of the opposition, and you will get a positive response like that. The defender missed her jump, completely ends up putting the ball out of play. Umayv Nati with the in swinger. Can the forward deliver a good cross in? A lot of height on it, but the direction was going away from goal, giving the arrows a chance to clear the lines. Can they sustain the pressure? Have ventured into the opposition half with the ball after a lot of time. Divyani seeking Tamanna. Good pressure there. Samiksha wins the ball, tries to lob it beyond the defense. Thania and Tamanna locked in a battle. It is going to be a goal kick, says the referee. Well, Thania was hopeful that she'd get the call in her favour. But Tamanna doing just enough to put some pressure on the striker and get a touch off her. Rupashri was on the bench in the previous encounter for Valai Jara Fernandez. Makes it back into the lineup. Well, that was a lot of time given by Elizabeth Lakra as she rolled the ball and then waited for a run to make a pass. That is a very good find between the lines. You need those kind of passes. On this occasion, it came from Rachna Singh in the middle of the park, but look at the space. It is a 4v1. The flag does stay down. She goes for goal, hits the inside of the post, and the rebound is slotted home. Well, that was a fast break where the defense was caught napping, taken out of the game by one single pass, and a brilliant attacking move sees the Indian Arrows take the lead. Despite not putting much effort, I don't think they did even try at full force. Divyani probably could not believe the amount of time and space she had. Uma Keva thought she got lucky. The post came to her rescue, but the rebound went straight to the number 2 of the Arrows, and second time of asking, she made no mistake. She just cushioned it into the back of the net. Well, all the good work and all the concentration that Casa Barwani have put in the opening 10 minutes has gone to waste as they have gone behind yet again. Divyani scoring her first goal of the campaign. It will be a morale booster. She has been impressive on that right hand side as a wing back. She combines well with the forwards. She's a dangerous force who puts a lot of crosses in. And now this goal will do her world a lot of confidence. Look at the skill, look at the swagger she's going on about. Sits the defender down. And finally gets the cross in, but this time it goes wide for a goal kick. Divyani Linda scoring the 4th goal of Indian Arrows campaign in their 4th game. A goal a game, not the most impressive output, but given that you're playing a 4-game tournament, will still mean a lot of difference. Cut out by the defense, the ball will go out. Now this is where they can afford to relax perhaps. Casa Barwani are trying to rush through their attack, not waiting for bodies to come forward. Here is a good chance for Viksit to pick a spot yet again. Joachim Berndt, Alexanderson, a happy man on the touchline. His side have taken the early lead, have made the right start to the game with the intent. And now Shweta Rani, the captain, showing that she can dance with that good dribble. Deepak Chauhan could see on the near side making instructions to his players. Good pressure put there by the centre back. Nothing illegal in that. Elizabeth's ball. The defender literally turning her back on that as the ball deflects and goes to Uma Kewat. I think it'll be very demoralizing for the goalkeeper to ship 9 goals Inside 200 minutes of action, the defense has to be answerable and better. Now, there is an option on the left hand side. It is a matter of keeping their calm in attack. But it comes to nothing as the arrows make a very easy sweep up job. Abhishta. Well, I think that is very risky. The high line fails once again. Shweta Rani darting through on goal. Buries it in the back of the net, but the flag belatedly goes up. Well, Abhishta Basnet. You could see she has that pass in her. A lovely threaded through pass down the middle. The skipper Shweta Rani's eyes lit up. Don't you think that Casa Barwani are playing a risky game, playing that high, knowing that they don't have the fuel to get back behind? Why not sit back and defend? Because with the runners they have in behind, Indian Arrows will always pose the threat of doing things like that. Here is another chance for them. This time there is no chance that the flag would go up. Anushka Kumari has a couple of blue shirts in the middle. She does go for the cross. Shweta Rani makes it two without a reply. That was as simple as it gets. Anushka Kumari picks up a simple of the simplest assist, putting it on a plate for a skipper. Shweta Rani, who appreciates that she put the ball in the back of the net a minute ago. It was disallowed. There is no chance that the referee would take this away from her. As the skipper gets on the act for a first goal of the campaign. That is some shocking defending from Casa Barwani. You cannot be that static and play a high line. Once again, the runners coming in behind. They were saved by the offside flag a couple of times, but it has been getting bad for them. Shweta Rani and Divyani run riot with early goals. They started off well in the opening 10 minutes, but after that, they have lost their track. Julan, what a great chance early on as well. And now look at that, another defense piercer. Wixit takes a bit of time to get the ball under her control, skips past challenges, scuffs the final shot there. As Barwani clear their lines, thanks to a deflection, they have a goal kick. Well, things are not looking good for them. Deepak Chauhan has to pass on some instructions to his players. As things stand, they're getting carved open for fun by the Arrows, who, as it stands, are enjoying a fine end to the campaign, to the league campaign, at least. And let me remind you, if they win this game, they will be as good as having a foot in the final round of the tournament. Tanya Gole, under pressure, gives the ball away, but does get the free kick. Well, that was what I was thinking. She was slashed down there, the referee, but still coming to her rescue. What must be the solution to these defensive woes, you believe? Perhaps play a bit deeper, not give Indian Arrows acres of space to run into. It's simply not rocket science. When they were not able to control the midfield, pretty much sit deeper and ask the forwards of the opposition to break you down. Instead, Barwani are giving them an open road by playing a very high line and not putting enough pressure on the midfield. Indian Arrows would never say no to these kind of opportunities. They have players who are very good at finding those passes. You have seen it from Abhishta, you have seen it from Julan. This time, Tanya Devi fancying herself to take on the defense. Elizabeth joins and Viksit Bara. She has a taste for goals. But this time, a very good block coming in from behind. That was very crucial from the defender. Read it perfectly, went for the ball, made a clean tackle, and supposedly gets herself injured there. Well, when it rains, it pours. Casa Barwani in all sorts of troubles. She made a very good tackle, but at what cost? She led into the challenge with her right foot. Looks like the impact against the ground has injured her. There's the first goal scorer, Divyani Linda. Bundle of energy on the right flank, constantly making those up and down runs for a coach, Joachim Bernd Alexanderson. As the sun beats down, the players on the bench hoping for a chance in the second half, perhaps, because if the Indian Arrows keep up this pace, they will wrap the game well ahead of the second half, giving them a chance to go on and put on a show. Well, the defender is up on her feet. A couple of changes, a couple of starters in the previous game have been relegated to the bench. Wixit gets the ball pinched off her toes. Elizabeth gets deflected. There is Tanya to pounce on anything that comes their way. It was Anupama Chauhan. Pardon me. Julan seeks the ball, gets it. Can she fire the cross? Cuts onto her left foot. Towards Abishta. A lot of time for her. Gets away with her dancing shoes and puts the ball in the back of the net. That is 3-0. Abishta Bashnet's second of the campaign. And perhaps the goal that would spell the end of this game as a contest and make way for one-way traffic. A half-hearted tackle from Ayushi Gole. Abishta got away. She knew what was coming. And as soon as she skipped past that challenge, only one thing on her mind, just get the ball beyond the goalkeeper. And Uma Kewat could do nothing from close range about that. Well, they have conceded 3 in the previous game. 2 of them have come in the injury time of the first half, but this time they have taken 3 goals even before the end of the first quarter. Abishta Basnet on target, helping a side rack up their goal difference, because let me tell you, it will go a long way. They must make sure that they not only get the win but also improve their goal difference so that they have all the chances to go to the final round, point wise and then goal difference wise as well. A first half substitution. Vidya Meda, who started the game, who started a first of the campaign, is being replaced just as the first quarter comes to a close for Anu Gupta, who was a regular starter. Deepak Chauhan's plans tattered. The game is in absolute tatters for them. They need something to happen. A goal out of absolutely nowhere. Perhaps a first goal of the campaign will boost them. But I believe nothing would matter if they don't tighten the defense. She gets an important foot there. Or rather not. Looks like the pass was hit straight out of play. It was. Anu Gupta coming on for Vidya Meda. I think it is to put a little bit of physicality in that midfield. The Arrows have found it extremely easy to dance through the middle, pick passes, and then unpick the defense. Tanya putting the pressure. But the Arrows, look at the high line still. Well, I don't know why the defense is insistent on playing that high of a line. when they're seeing that the opposition are carving them open. Julan through the lines. Abishta this time just overhits it. The timing of the strike, the technique, everything was good, but except she puts a lot of power on it. Once again, a lot of time. Immediately, the midfielder offering her apologies to her teammates for not covering that region. Julan. Rachna Singh has to be careful. On a shoulder is Viksit Bara making those dangerous runs in behind. Slice towards the middle. A chance to keep the ball for Anupama Chauhan, but she is dispossessed swiftly by Tanya Devi, who's showcasing good dribbles. And now Shweta Rani is clear through on goal. She must finish, but Uma Kewat makes a fine save to deny her from close range, and the rebound is skied. Well, once again, how easy it is for them. Tanya is riding past a couple of challenges, plays the captain in behind. Shweta Rani, who had a simple finish for the first goal, had to beat the goalkeeper there, but she couldn't come up with an answer. Well, there was a lot of space. The skipper went for power instead of placement. She could have tried to pass it into the net. Such was the angle she had. But decides to blast it into the roof of the net, and Uma offers a fine hand to deny her. Rachna. Well, the only thing on their mind is to get the ball as far as away from their goal as possible. I don't think that's going to work. They need to knit a couple of passes together, because the arrows are raining fire on them with attack after attack. Divyani once again gets the cross in, but again gets a good chance to fire at it. A good turn from Anushka Kumari. A couple of blocks later, but she will not be denied. Fortune favors the brave. The ball comes away after being blocked by the defense, and she takes it into her stride gladly and buries it into the bottom corner to make it 4-0. A goal to add to her earlier assist. Well, I think it's not going your way. It doesn't absolutely go your way. It was a fine block from Aishi Gole, but they could not catch a break at the moment. It falls so kindly for Anushka, who says thank you so much, as she absolutely pummels it into the back of the net from close range. It has been a walk in the park. It didn't start like that, but again, two defenders stepping up. Well, I think the referee can bring the game to a halt if he has a chance, because they are not going to stop anytime soon. Indian Arrows score their fifth. Anushka Kumari, who just got on the score sheet, shows such good feet to take it past the goalkeeper, slot it into the empty net. Well, how simple was that? I don't think they're able to believe what's happening, as the referee calls for a water break. But this is shocking defending from Casa Barwani. Conceding 5 goals in the opening 30 minutes, double digits inside perhaps for the Arrows. Joachim Alexanderson could barely control his excitement, but it has been all too easy for them. Divyani Linda opened the scoring. Shweta Rani, the captain, got in on the act thanks to Anushka Kumari's lovely layoff. Abhishta Basnet made it 3, and then Anushka scored a lovely brace within a minute of her 2 goals. Smooth sailing. It is all about keeping the focus. And in the build up to the 5th goal, you could see how 2 defenders of Casa Barwani jumped onto the player, leaving acres of space for Anushka to run in behind. As soon as the pass was fired, It was absolutely 1 versus 1 from 30 yards out. The defensive structure, whatever they trained on, has been shocking. Deepak Chauhan is finding that in top level, nothing gets spared. Well, this is like a seasoned boxer landing blow after blow on the novice. You just have to feel sad. And you could ask perhaps if the referee could intervene and end the bout. But there is no such option on this wrestling rink. Another substitution for Barwani. Anshika coming on. Well, let me remind you, they have already made a substitution at the end of the first quarter. And now, towards the half an hour mark, a second one. It's simply not going for them. The long balls, the tackles, nothing ever coming their way. And Isha Chaudhary enters the fray for Aishi Gole as well. Cross into the middle. Well taken. The goalkeeper has to come out. She does well. You could see the players charging. Anushka Kumari more so eager to get her hat trick within 3 minutes. Attack that ball. But Uma Kewat, 13 goals inside 2 1/4 of a game. That is absolutely shocking for a team at this level. The defense has to be better than this. Now this time the ball in behind. Wixit will get on it anyways. Gets a lovely cross. The referee raising his flag, beg your pardon. I think the opening 30 minutes have been nothing short of a highlights reel. It was about technically till the 10th minute, but after that, it is a complete training session of attack versus defense. More so, run in behind versus a high line that could be easily beaten. Almost all the goals they have scored have come from ridiculously easy openings where the high line has given up. They started the game with a goal difference of +1 and now it is up to +6. The best in the group. A third victory in 4 games. If that is not enough to take them to the final round, I don't know what will be enough. They will learn their fate as soon as the game in the evening ends. But I think a good performance of this level, especially the enthusiasm that they have shown to score and improve their goal difference, the Indian Arrows would be fine. They'll be heading to the top spot. They'll be having a solid goal difference. Of course, Roots could overtake them as the league leaders. The only other threat they have would be from Intakashi, who have a decent goal difference as well. Let me remind you of +4. They need to string a couple of wins together. If they do manage to get it, it would be huge trouble for Indian Arrows. That is why you could see them raise their level and score so many goals. I think they'd be hoping for a positive result in the clash between Roots and Intakashi. Because if one side drops points, that would be pretty much enough for them to make sure that they go to the next round. A group of 5 teams having 5 match days with one rest day in between. And Indian Arrows being the first one to play out all their games on the fourth match day itself without a rest day. They will sit back and wait patiently for all the other games to play out to seal their progression to the final round. Julan. Well, I think their goal hunger has gone down by a little bit as they're simply passing the ball around their own half. Elizabeth. Some resistance offered there, but still the Blues get it in their way. Wixit, relentless attacking from the left wing back. A lovely cross. Anushka Kumari fails to connect it. A run at the far post. But the shot was wide. Well, I think she was too eager. She tried to lead into that shot. Perhaps could have swung her left foot with an ambitious volley. Or maybe take a couple of strides forward and then try to trap it. A foul in the build up there. A chance for Barwani to perhaps keep the ball for a couple of minutes, which they haven't done so. There goes the long ball. It will come back straight into their half. Rachna Singh could play it back to the goalkeeper, but doesn't fancy it. Boots the ball out for a throw in. Slowly trickling towards their half-time whistle. Well, if you had offered them the full-time whistle at 45 minutes, I'm sure that Casa Barwani would gladly take it. The cross, no one to attack it. Well cleared by the defense. Something positive at least. Tanya Gole, you cannot fault her. She has been running in behind all day. She has even scored a goal, let me remind you. That was cancelled by the offside flag. Who knows? It could have been a different game altogether had that one counted. This time, tries to play Anupama Chauhan in the middle of the pitch. But Muni says, let me have a bit of the action as well. Making a first appearance. The goalkeeper, we haven't seen her at all, except for that offside chance from Barwani. And now the flag goes up against Anushka. Divyani, that was, beg your pardon. Shweta Rani played in a conservative midfield role in the previous outings, but this time she is realizing there are spaces for her to attack. Perhaps that was coaching. That was the coach's instructions there. Abhishta Basnet started the previous games as the forward, dropped into the midfield, allowing Shweta that extra freedom to go ahead and showcase her goal scoring abilities. She walked in on goal a couple of times as well, but it took very good saves from the goalkeeper to deny her a foot to stop her progress. Tanya Devi. Here is Divyani. Look at the gaps in the defense. Yet again, Shweta asks for the ball, gets it. But that was closer to the goalkeeper than it was to her. There's absolutely no communication between the defenders. They are as staggered as it can get. The shape, the fine back line, in unison, is just not visible at all. They're very staggered, two in one line and two in another, allowing a lot of space in behind. Rachna Singh on that right side is having to deal with the overlap of Shweta Rani and Viksit Bara. And in the middle, Rajwanti is not picking up any player. Was that a foul throw in? Looks like it is. Tanya's crossing. As a left footer, it would always curl out. I don't think she put much direction on it. Just hit it and hope that someone in blue will attack. A first start of the campaign for her as well. In the middle of the pitch, ahead of Anita Dangdang. Gives it the boot but cannot get the distance on it. Abista sweeps and picks it up. Look at the spaces. This time Archana is out of the frame. The skipper shot. The goalkeeper somehow makes a save there. That was curling from Shweta. What a lovely strike that was. Uma Kevat flapped at it, caught the ball, and then luckily it hit her again and stayed without going into the back of the net. Down with an injury yet again. In the previous game as well, she had a tough time. She made a lot of incredible saves, let me remind you as well. But the two goals they have conceded in the injury time could have been pretty much avoidable. Save after save, taking a toll on her health, and this time as well. Looks like she pulled a muscle or something. The last thing Deepak Chauhan would want to do is use a substitution on his goalkeeper. Of course, there is an option, Komal Rathod, warming the bench. But she is all right to continue there, says the referee. Komal perhaps seeking an update of whether she has to warm up to come out in the second half. She is struggling. You could see her not walk normally. That was a decent kick. A lot of power on it from Uma. Wixit appeals for a handball but waved away. Shweta Rani hooks it into the middle. Anushka's touch will go out wide as Divyani keeps it in play. Look, this is where the difference between Indian Arrows and Casa Barwani is visible. They do not panic once the ball doesn't come their way. They're happy to recycle it, play it to the centre backs, and then ask another question. But as soon as Barwani get it, this is what I was speaking about. The first intention is to get the ball as far away as possible instead of trying to build something tangible. Anupama Chauhan giving it away to Julan. Divyani lost the bearings there for a minute. There are a lot of bodies at the back, but just not enough to put any kind of real pressure on the defense. This time, a sliding tackle will give the Indian Arrows a corner heading into the final minute of normal time in the first half. After Anushka Kumari's blitz in the 30th minute, it was a bit calm heading into the final 15. Can they finish it off with a bang? Wixit, lot of height on this in swinger, headed towards goal, but just marginally wide. Third corner for the Arrows. I think this has been the best of them all. Abista timed her jump to perfection, but a bit of miscommunication. Anushka was coming in for it as well. Rachna Singh under pressure. She could not go past the skipper, but that was wasteful from Wixit. The technique was all wrong. I don't think she was trying to get across or something. Perhaps that was an attempted shot as we enter 3 minutes of added time. Well, I guess this was at least better than taking a short goal kick to Rachna, beg your pardon, and put her under pressure. Abhishta comfortably receiving and turning. Gets fouled, wins a free kick there. 14 shots from the Indian Arrows, 5 of them on target. A couple of incredible saves from Uma to keep it away. Casa Barwani could see just a single shot to their name of how outplayed they have been in every department on the pitch. Wixit fails to get it into the box for some reason. That was swinging out and ended at the edge of the box instead of making its way inside. Now, here is a chance. She is all alone, and that was the best Tanya goalie could conjure. You have to feel sad. She has seen some action, but Anupama Chauhan on the other end barely had a sniff of the ball. Tanya Devi, look at the audacity there. Casually chopped the ball past to no one, knowing that she would get on it and gets fouled. Tamanna with the free kick. Julan, a decent couple of touches to bring the ball down. They will get a chance to attack again. This time a lot of height. Uma, good catch. The sun was beating down on her face. Made sure that she put her eyes on it and made the claim. Some positives, perhaps, to take for Casa Barwani. Uma has been the only positive, you must say, despite conceding those many goals. It is so easy. The captain just plays Wixit in with a deft touch on that left flank as the fullback wins a corner. Perhaps the final piece of action. Can they hold their defense together to not go 6-0 down before halftime? Fourth corner, another in swinger this time from Anushka Kumari. A deep run up. Good height on it towards that far post. Goalkeeper parries it. Can they clear the lines? There goes the shot. But well wide. And that will be the end of the first half. One-way traffic. It started as about and lasted about 10 minutes before Indian Arrows Women Junior took control of it. Divyani Linda scoring, taking advantage of Casa Barwani's ridiculous high line by running in behind. And then Shweta Rani was played in by Anushka Kumari. Abhishta Bashnet shortly made it 3-0 with a well-taken finish. And then Anushka Kumari got on the score sheet. 2-2 for her. The first one was a deflection that came her way from her initial shot. And the second one she could barely believe as she walked in on goal from 40 yards out all alone. Casa Barwani, their winless streak is set to continue as they search for their first ever win at the Indian Women's League 2. As the first half comes to a close, it is Indian Arrows Women Juniors 5, Casa Barwani Soccer Club 0. The stats and highlights coming your way shortly. They would make for a gruesome reading now. It would be onslaught. If we do paint them, it will be all blue on any pie chart with a little shade of pink here and there that could have come from the opening 10 minutes for Casa Barwani. The Indian Arrows started the game knowing they need a win. They had an early chance. Julan, early couple of chances, you must say. They started running in behind right from the word go, but it took some time for it to materialize, for it all to come together. That was Julan's second opportunity as he sliced the ball away Viksit Bara creating a lot of trouble on that flank. Uma Kewat was up for the task, but that was how Divyani grabbed her first goal. Ran in behind, 4 blue shirts at once. Hit the shot first time. The rebound came back to her sweetly. And this was Sweta getting in on the act, sweeping Anushka's pass home without any pressure whatsoever in front of goal. A great tackle there. Tackle that injured herself. Abhishta Basnet walking away from a challenge and then putting it into the back of the net. She missed a sitter later. Shweta Rani could barely believe how she missed the chance as Uma Kewat pulled off an incredible save. That was all Anushka Kumari. And look at this, how simple that was. How cool she was in that situation. She hoped to get a hat trick in the first half. It didn't happen. Once again, Uma was there making those claims. Shweta Rani with a vicious shot that the goalkeeper somehow managed to get a hand on. That was the best chance they have had from a corner. Abhishta and Anushka going for it. This one as well. The goalkeeper parried it. The rebound was simply nowhere near enough. 70% possession for the Indian Arrows. 69. More than 2/3 of the ball under their control. And Casa Barwani with a mere 31%. One shot for the women from Madhya Pradesh. None on target. Their goalkeeper making 4 saves. 14, a barrage of shots from the Indian Arrows. 9 on target, 5 of them in the back of the net. 3 fouls apiece from each side. None were clinical enough for the referee to produce a booking. We will find out what the second half will have in store for us. Rather, how many goals the second half will have in store for us. It looks like it is only coming from one team. We will see how they fare in the second half. Welcome back to the second half action. The Indian Arrows line up in league phase action for one last time as they look to close their league journey and will be hopeful of a spot in the final round that begins very soon. But for the moment, it is Casa Barwani Soccer Club who got us underway in the second half, attacking from right to left of your screen in pink and white, and absolutely with an air of desperation. And attacking from left to right of your screen in the skin of the Blue Tigers are Indian Arrows Women Juniors. Perhaps more of the same of what we had in the first half. Relentless attack from the Arrows versus some defending. And now, early on, Anushka Kumari gets on the end of that. That needed something special to catch that volley. She opened the foot up, she opened her boot, but it was always going up. The pace at which the cross came in, she had to guide her foot where she wanted to place that volley, but instead she just opened the boot up as the ball deflected off it into the skies. Trying to shield the ball, but she learns it the hard way. Samiksha, that she cannot do it alone. Should have simply picked the pass to her teammates when she had the option, but now the Arrows come arrowing in once again. Tanya Devi, such an impressive game for her. After coming back into the lineup, this is the kind of performance you want to put to show to your coach that you can stand up when needed and you can perhaps start the game and make an impact instead of just coming on as a substitute. Tamanna challenging herself with the ball, drawing forward. A good give and go. Divyani has space to cross. Anushka Kumari is in the middle. But a lovely dash there from Umayv Nati denies her the opportunity to cross. Tanya yet again. Well, I think they're getting crammed on the same side. Tanya and Julan occupying the same spaces, making it hard for each other to express themselves. Uma with another good tackle. Well, that is some fire to start the half with. Well, in retrospect, Barwani have started the first half with similar intensity as well before falling off a cliff after the 10th minute as they conceded goal after goal in the next 20. It is important that they hold their concentration levels and the intensity. Well, I don't understand the marking. Look at the blue shirts, the number of blue shirts that are free. Absolutely static zonal marking. The cross on the follow-up, a finish, and it is so easy for Anushka Kumari to grab a hat-trick. The number 6 at the far post waited for the opportunity, and they've certainly rehearsed this on the training ground. What a scene to watch. Anushka Kumari schooling everyone on how to score. Well, the defense in tatters. Rachna Singh leaving her player, leaving her marker completely free as the cross came in. And Anushka, the number 6, makes it 6-0. This is a brilliant hat-trick. You would not see your central midfielders score hat-tricks every day, so when they come your way, you cherish them with a well-rehearsed celebration that is so heartwarming to see. That could have been the talk in the halftime tunnel, in the change rooms for them, certainly. What are we going to do next when I score a hat-trick? Because the tactics and the minute discussions the coach has would have probably had no effect because the result was done, the goals was done. They were doing it for fun. And fun they had in just 3 minutes in the second half. Again, absolutely dreadful start by Barwani. Umayv Nati made a couple of challenges that looked like they brought the fire out to play, but again it fell off as soon as the arrows got a corner. The first cross was cleared, but the second one, they were stacking up at that far post to attack that cross, and Anushka Kumari had a simple finish to guide the ball into the back of the net. Uma again under pressure from Julan, concedes a throw in. Well, would you fancy seeing a double digit score now? They certainly have the capacity. It is a matter of increasing the goal difference versus going easy now on their opponents. What will be the choice of Joachim Bundt Alexanderson? They have a goal difference of 7 as things stand, and they will finish at least till the evening game finishes on top of the table with 9 points and a goal difference of +7. 9 goals scored, just 2 conceded, but they could still not be sure of a place in the next round if the other results do not go their way. Such is the complexity of the situation. Intakashi are hot on their heels. They must win their next two to dethrone Indian Arrows because they are the only side with a decent goal difference. They have +4. So if they could win their next two games with a margin of 3, they could certainly go beyond Indian Arrows. I think that is why the Arrows are not slowing down anytime soon. They just want to keep on adding more goals and improve their goal difference. They would be hoping that Roots take some points off Intakashi. That could see them qualify for the final round in a flash. Anushka tries to flick it past. Looks like it got a hand there. The skipper, Krishna Bhati, the guilty party, as she handles. Anushka wants the free kick for herself. Of course, she cannot go for goal from here. Have a lot of time to set their defense up. I think they'll take it. They'll take anything to slow down the game. Anushka gives a lot of distance on that. Can it be retrieved? It is on the far side. Another cross goes in. Julan's header misses the connection. But there is Tamanna on the edge of the box. A deflection. We'll see the ball slow down as Anshika puts it out for yet another corner. And in swinger this time from Viksit. This is better structure when it comes to marking, and Anushka Kumari probably had a fourth goal snatched off her. Well, the ball beating everyone as it made its way towards that far corner. Anushka was there yet again unmarked. I think it was surely a goal line clearance as she almost scored her fourth. Handled by the skipper perhaps. Shweta Rani looking at the referee with a hint of a doubt. It is just a throw in, not a free kick. Well, how exhausting it must be for that unit in pink and white. You have to take a moment and feel bad for them. They have been battered throughout the tournament. Deepak Chauhan's charges, the defensive structure, the attack, nothing clicking for them. The second consecutive campaign, they are shipping a lot of goals and are yet to win a single game in this competition. Divyani miscues that cross, but Julan can have another go at it. Divyani once again has Tanya Devi in support. Look at Tamanna provide herself as an option. So deep into the opposition territory, being a centre back. She finally gets it in her own half. Tanya Gole pressing the opposition with every ounce of energy she has got. Shweta delivers the cross. Should be easy, and it is easy for Muakevat. Now that was a drop kick with a lot of power but no direction. Tanya playing as a makeshift centre back now. A dream game to start your campaign, isn't it? Everywhere over the pitch. No pressure on you when you have the ball. Given the freedom to join the attack as well. But here is Julan making a good run. Anushka Kumari bearing down in on goal. Uma makes a very good save this time. I think she was caught in two minds. Whether to go for the far post or just place it behind the goalkeeper at her near post. Probably a heavy touch in there as well, taking the ball away from her. I think she'll be asking Joachim Bernd Alexanderson whether she could play as a striker in the next game. Keeper Paris it. Divyani couldn't get there ahead of the defense. Cleared only as far as Tanya. Recycled in yet again. That is what I've been extremely disappointed with. Casa Barwani Soccer Club have never appreciated it when they got the ball. As soon as they got it, I could barely remember a couple minutes sequence where they held the ball, kept passing it around in their own half, or at least kept finding their teammates. It has been a shocking performance. If you cannot retain the ball, and if your defense is fragile enough, it is bound to happen. It doesn't come to anyone's surprise. Look at that now. Anupama Chauhan finds a pass to a teammate, but immediately under pressure as the Arrows win the ball back easily. Julan makes light work. Anushka shrugged off the ball, but still it ends up with Julan who sorts her feet out. The defense recover quickly to put a tackle on her. I think the players themselves are not confident about keeping the ball for a couple of minutes. The cross in from Tamanna, trying to clear it away. And that was it. A rash attempted clearance, the ball coming straight back in. That is the story of the day for them as we approach the hour mark. Trying to play Shweta in, Viksit Bara, who has parked herself on that left wing. She started the game on paper as a left wing back, but she certainly took positions that any left winger would be envious of. Shot from outside, a good attempt from Julan. Well, she is eager to get a goal for herself, isn't she? This was a much better attempt. Maybe the goalkeeper had it covered, but the ball was racing and we'd never know. Julan Nongmaitem, the player of the game in the first match, in a 2-1 win against the Puduvai Unicorns. Yet to register a goal though. In a game where everyone ate, she'd be hungry for some goals. Muni, reminding us of her presence. Trying to fire it between the lines. Samiksha doing well to clear it out and read it well. A chance for the substitutions to take place, and I expect them to take part from the blue camp, but it is coming from the pink and white one. Bindya Arjun coming on. As Samiksha makes way in the middle of the park alongside Lavanya Shukla for Anupama Chauhan, a final roll of the die. Can the substitutes grab a consolation at least for them? Playing those passes without any pressure. Divyani will come back to Tanya, who tries to sweep it towards the box. It is Lavanya and Tanya as the strike pair for Barwani now. Half an hour to go. When do we expect to see the changes from Indian Arrows? The coach waiting his time. I think this could have been the best window. Make a couple of changes, perhaps. Give some minutes to the fringe players. Put out for yet another corner. Now the outswinger, met by Anushka. Abhishta's effort well blocked. I think the position stats in the second half would even make for a scarier reading. It has absolutely been one-way traffic if it wasn't any better earlier. No respite for the women in pink and white. Lavanya Shukla almost got in there with a chance for herself. Getting away from the skipper is Divyani, but the run from Julan stopped. Well. A failed move. How many times have we seen it today? Divyani thought Julan would continue her run and played it down the line. The number 10 was actually shocked that Divyani went for the pass there instead of making the run. Giving it straight to Divyani. Anushka fails to turn with the ball. Spins out of everyone's way. Carrying the ball. This is a nice movement. But again, Nati not able to find the pass. Anushka, who made herself as a striker now, looks like she's playing for goals because there is nothing to worry about the defense. They're in a very good shape. Here she is. But yet again, the touch letting her down. Well, perhaps a bit too greedy. Asking too much of the substitute. Tanya Gole, perhaps. And now, here are the substitutions, the much awaited ones. Three of them at once. Tamanna withdrawn for a defensive change as Amrita Ghosh takes a place. This will be the time that the coach will experiment before the final round kicks in. 25 minutes to play. He will be making changes here and there. Gurleen Kaur as well for the skipper Shweta Rani. Heading into the final quarter of the game, do we have some more goals in it? Because if they were to come, it would be from the team in blue. Confirmation of the substitutions, Gurleen Kaur on for the skipper Shweta Rani. And a defensive change as Amrita Ghosh replaced Tamanna at the heart of the defense. Umayv Nati wins a free kick there. Under pressure from Julan. I think you could sense it. A sense of respect for the opposition, perhaps. That the arrows have slowed down, not wanting to put too many goals. But do you think this would be a good move for their own future? A goal difference of +7 is always good, but there comes a mistake. Anushka Kumari has to square. It must be an absolute sitter, and it is. Well, just as I was talking about going easy, there is no going easy there. That was very simple goal to concede. Anushka Kumari picking up yet another assist. You cannot keep her out of the game, can you? Gurleen Kaur helping herself to a goal with one of her first touches as the arrows hit a seventh heaven. I think they'll be satisfied now. A goal difference of +8 will be too much for Intakashi to turn around in the next two games, even if they win. Yet again, Barwani have shot themselves in the foot, giving the ball away in dangerous areas, not keeping enough tackles. And sadly enough, the full time whistle is nowhere near for them. They still have to contend a quarter of the game with Gurleen. As if the problems they were having weren't enough, Gurleen adds one more to that. Mass kick. A bit of distance. She is getting the distance on those kicks. But certainly the direction is what is lacking. You could see Tanya Gole giving up in a chase. She has been chasing the ball. She has been chasing the shadows rather all game long in the beating warm Bengaluru sun. Gurleen Kaur's goal that was confirmed to be the substitute who just entered the fray. What a dream introduction that was to score her first of the campaign. Tanya Devi had the easy option of picking Divyani's run, but she fails to do it. Rather, chooses not to do it to try something different. Locked it out. Here is Tanya. Good skill to get away. Tanya on Tanya. You have to remember this time Tanya wins the free kick from Tanya. Couple of alliterations there going on. Finally, the call comes in the favor of the woman in pink. Anu Gupta just thought she pulled off a good skill move there, but to meet another shirt in blue to take the ball away will be disappointing. Gurleen concedes a throw in. Rachna Singh has been very passive, came into the lineup, was completely overwhelmed by Viksit Bara, running behind her shoulder every time in. Now looks like the substitutes have added yet another gear to the arrows. They are looking refreshed and recharged once again. Muni, perhaps picking the easiest clean sheet of her career. She barely had to do a save. Yes, she was beaten once, but the flag came to her rescue, and after that, it's been absolutely no show for her. Divyani making a very good run into the box, keeps her bearings. Here is Julan. Can she find her finish? Goes for goal. Uma parries it onto the crossbar and out for a corner kick. She has had a lot of efforts. Julan there on her left foot. I think she should have hit it there. Tried to curl it towards that far post. Changed it to her right and then had to poke it with the outside. Not coming off for her. Pixit puts too much power on it. Anushka will retrieve it anyways. Julan on the edge of the box. Goes for shot, blocked by the defender. It comes so kindly. Could you believe it? Divyani from such a close range. All she had to do was place the ball at the back of the net. The ball dropped so kindly for her. Well, that was the 8th goal served on a platter. Summed up the day Casa Barwani were having. The defender tried to head it. It fell so kindly for Divyani. But the right wing back could not control her finish. Could have been a brace for her as well. Now that was way too greedy from Anu Gupta, trying to turn past two defenders. She was never going to get out of jail there. Tanya getting away from the skipper Krishna. Divyani tries to find the reverse pass into Julan but cannot get there. The referee will halt the proceedings for a short cooling break. Smooth sailing for the Indian Arrows in the second half. It continues. Anushka Kumari completed her hat trick just minutes into the second half as Barwani's plans of holding the fort were brought down just when we thought that the Arrows weren't interested in goals anymore. Gurleen Kaur came off the bench and added one as Anushka set her up on a platter. Final quarter of an hour to go. Will we see more goals as Indian Arrows seek a strong end to their league campaign? And now yet another change. It looks like Julan won't be getting her goal after all, as she reluctantly leaves the field when her coach demands for Harmeen to take a place in the middle of the park as the creative engine. Harmeen Kaur replacing Julan Nongmaitem, the player of the match from the first game for Indian Arrows. Well, that is a bit of aggression from Bindia, who just came on. There she is yet again. Elizabeth putting it across her back line. Here is Gurleen. Look at the number of blue shirts still eager to join the attack. A missed header. Perhaps in with a shout now. Casa Barwani. Can they get their first goal of the campaign? Denied so easily. Elizabeth Lakra donning the armband now. Ashweta Rani left as a substitute a few minutes ago. Tanya seeing the ball snatched from her feet by a good tackle. Well, let us just go through the hows and whats of the tournament. If you're new here, this is the second season of Indian Women's League 2, the second tier of Premier Women's Football competition in India. We have 15 teams divided into 3 groups based on zones of 5 teams each. Each team plays the other once in a single leg round robin format, meaning each team gets 4 games in the league phase. The top 2 would qualify for the final round from each group. So the winner and runner from 3 groups, that is 6 teams in total, meet each other in a final round where they take on each other in a single leg round robin format again. So at the end of the 5 league games in the final round, the top 2 would be promoted to the Indian Women's League, the highest tier of women's football in India. Of course, the team that finishes the final round on top would be crowned as the champions of the Indian Women's League 2, as well as gain a promotion. The runners up would simply be promoted to the top flight. That is a great award in itself. So in our group B, we have 5 teams. All the games taking place at the Padukone Dravid Center for Sports Excellence in Bengaluru, the home of Roots Football Club, the hosts. We have a couple of teams from Bengaluru itself. Indian Arrows, 2 calling Bangalore their home. Indian Arrows and Roots from Bengaluru. And we have 3 teams from outside. Puduva Unicorns from the nearby Pondicherry. Intakashi from Uttar Pradesh, the holy city of Varanasi. And the club on show today, Casa Barwani Soccer Club from Madhya Pradesh. Well, talking on about the teams, Indian Arrows Women Junior making their first ever appearance at this tournament as the junior version, of course. The Indian Arrows did make an appearance in the 21-22 edition of the Indian Women's League that was in the top flight. They finished 5th after winning 6, drawing 1 and losing 4, and failed to make it for the final round back then. After a couple of years of impasse, they have rebranded themselves as the juniors, and now have secured a spot in the Indian Women's League 2. It will be interesting to see them win promotion and make it back to the top flight yet again. They've been a strong start to this tournament, a couple of good wins. A 2-1 win against Puduwai Unicorns in the first game. Abista Basnet was on target, Walai Jada Fernandez too. And in the second game against Intakashi, Viksit Bara's free kick from 40 yards out gave them all 3 points. Those two wins took them in a very good spot to make it to the knockouts, the final round, I mean. But a shock defeat to Roots Football Club in the third game cast a doubt of jeopardy in their minds. In their final league game, how do they respond? By putting 7 past Casa Barwani Soccer Club and improving their goal difference. At the end of this game, they will make it to the top of the table with 9 points and a goal difference of 8. There would be too much to overturn. So let us consider the Indian Arrows to be qualified for the final round. Another couple of changes from the coach. Deepika Gurnas coming on as Divyani makes way. Anushka Kumari, she won't be having a poker today. The goalkeeper drops it, but finally, well, it is still spilled. Looks like she was fouled there, kicked in the gut, drawing the referee's attention. Too eager to get the goal there. The players in blue probably kicked the goalkeeper. On comes the physio, rushing onto the scene to tend to Uma Kewat. Looks like it was a bad collision. The confirmation of the substitution. Gurna score on for Anushka Kumari, who has been absolutely the player of the match. And Deepika Kumari replacing Divyani Linda as the right wing back. It was Divyani who started the scoring on the day. Well, there is the man turning the fortune of this club, Joachim Berndt Alexanderson, the Swedish coach with a lot of experience after playing and coaching in Europe. Spent majority of his playing days at IF Elfsborg, his Swedish boyhood club. Captained them a couple of times as well, so he brings in a wealth of European experience to impart all that knowledge to these young and aspiring footballers who seek to develop a better career for themselves and help the national side to win glory as well. A dejected Casa Barwani bench. On the other hand, you could see Deepak Chauhan still making some finer improvements to his side, but they have been struggling. They made their debut appearance in the previous season, the first of the Indian Women's League 2. They were beaten pretty badly there as well. Have only 1 point to their name as they lost 3 other games in the Group B last time out. Yet to win a single game in this tournament. A 5-0 thumping in the hands of Indakashi to begin this season with. Puduwai Unicorns put 3 past them in the previous game, and right now they're holding 7 with still a good chunk of 5 minutes plus added time to play. When will they ever get a victory in this tournament? Oh, and by the way, a defeat today will mean that they are the first team to be eliminated from this Group B. Even if they win their last encounter, they will be on to a maximum of 3 points. As we already have a team on 9 and a couple on 6, it is mathematically impossible for them to progress. So in the last game, they will have nothing but pride to play for, to see if they could get a first goal of this campaign, to see if they could get a first win ever in Indian Women's League 2. Anyways, they need to improve massively. They have to fix that leaky defense that has conceded 15 goals in 3 games. There goes the cross. Off the crossbar and out. Uma Kewat could breathe a sigh of relief. Well, I think I could finally see it again this time without getting punished. It looks like the goals in this game are over. The Arrows have made peace with the fact that 7 goals would probably be enough to take them to the next round. Still trying to grab a consolation. Passing options open for Tanya. Well, she gets dispossessed and concedes a free kick. That is very, very silly from Tanya Gole. She knows better. She had options, but she was trying to do all the protagonist work herself, spinning and turning with the ball, trying to go for the glorious skill instead of doing the simple pass. Hurts her side yet again. Put towards the box, cleared from the edge. It will come back right in through her mean. She receives it back. It is that simple. Just playing simple passes from right to the left, left to the right, testing the opposition, testing how patient they could be while trying to defend. Vixit, despite all her attacking intent, not a goal or an assist to show for. Cross into the middle. An important foot from the defender to get it away. Attempted pass from Lavanya, but she cannot get to Tanya. Spread down the right flank now. Can it be a first time cross? It gets past her marker. Tries to cute cut back, but still there is a chance. Getting away. The 8th goal is there from the substitute Gurnas. Well, it looked like they got away with the situation, but yet again, unrelenting Indian Arrows put more pressure as Rajwanti fails in a tackle to close down Gurnas. The number 7 skips away and then had the simple task of burying it wherever she felt like. 2 minutes from normal time, and we still are having goals. Gurnas score. A couple of goals from the substitute. What a happy coach he is. His starting lineup have put out a statement performance, rock solid at the back. Well, of course, they've been barely tested, but you could count them as rock solid given their previous endeavors. Very potent going forward. His forward line firing well, and the substitutes getting a taste of the goals as well. They are in a very good position heading on towards the final round. Now they deal with this danger pretty well. Bista getting the hunt for the 9th goal into the final minute of normal time. She will win that header yet again. Has a pop-up goal. Uma Kewat will pouch it and should probably stay in the same pose for the next 5 minutes if the referee allows her. That was well hit by Abista, wasn't it? Scored a 2nd goal of the campaign today. Playing in a deeper role this time, mind you. She was playing as a forward in the previous games, this time a bit deeper. We will find out how many minutes we are going to get as the Indian Arrows inch closer to an epic performance. 2 minutes it is going to be. Well, they have started the game a bit shy on goals with only 3 in 3, but this time around, no one will have complaints. Stunning display with 8 goals. Probably could have had many more, and now here is a chance to add more. Here is Viksit, but the goalkeeper making the necessary sweep to make a fine save. And now the final task, the final defensive task there is to keep them out. Uma, well, the only silver lining in this dark cloud is the performance of Uma Kevat. Yes, she was beaten 8 times, but she could hardly do anything about those finishes. It was the defense that put her in a spot of bother. If not for the goalkeeper, this could have been a cricket score. Arrows could have easily had 13 or 14. A final hooray, perhaps, but they cannot get beyond Elizabeth Lagra, who just held the ground as the winger ran into her. Here is Deepika. Now there is a chance to put the ball in behind for Abhishta. Krishna Bhatti, the skipper, stretching every sinew now to not concede the ninth goal. Abhishta trying to launch it from outside. Trying to keep alive. Tanya Gole is away, but she is out of energy as the referee brings the clash to an end. Indian Arrows Women Juniors with an epic performance, putting 8 past Casa Barwani Soccer Club, who have given up as soon as the third goal went in inside the first half. It was a matter of when the contest will end. Divyani Linda started the rout in the 13th minute as Casa Barwani Soccer Club started brightly than the previous games, but the resistance was broken as soon as Divyani sent her effort in. The high line was severely punished by Shweta Rani and Abhishna Basnet, and then it was the show from Anushka Kumari, a fantastic hat trick to make it 6-0 from 3-0. 2 goals in a minute inside the 30-minute mark, and then as soon as the second half started, she was on target. A couple of goals for the substitutes, Gurleen Kaur and Gurnas Kaur, will seal off a pretty memorable performance as Indian Arrows Women Juniors make it to the final round of the competition with 9 points to their name after playing 4 games. 11 scored and only 2 conceded. They look like a unit to contend with into the final round. Casa Barwani Soccer Club, on the other hand, a sad end for the team from Madhya Pradesh, losing another contest with a heavy margin. That was Anushka's goal that sealed the hat trick. Then again, she was hungry for more. Good save from Uma Kevat. Julan let one fly just shy of the crossbar. And that was the goal the substitute had. Anushka made it with love. Julan, she was desperate for something on her left foot, onto her right, but this was the final nail in the coffin. Gurna scoring the 8th. Abhishta testing the goalkeeper with a fine effort from outside the box. Final chance to make it 9, but they've given it up. Viksit Bara was denied by Uma as well as the game came to a close. Casa Barwani winless and dropping yet another step in possession. There's 27 to their name as Indian Arrows have 73% of the ball, 24 shots, 17 on target. It was a rout in every sense. Only a shot from Barwani and none on target. Muni couldn't imagine an easier clean sheet in her career. Came into the side and barely had to do anything to earn that clean sheet. Fantastic performance from the Arrows. Barwani, meanwhile, the first team to crash out of this Group B, 3 defeats in 3 on 0 points, 16 goals conceded without a goal to their name. They will be playing for pride on the final match day. It finishes Indian Arrows 8, Casa Barwani nil in the match 7 of Group B. The all important clash between Inter Kashi and Roots Football Club at the same venue at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Do not go anywhere. Please tune in because that game would pretty much decide the future of this group. We will bring up all the live action from Indian football. Stay tuned.